This day, the 8th of June, is not like any other. It has been marked in heaven long before you ever walked the earth. You were not meant to stumble upon these words by chance. You were led. You were summoned. And now, in this very moment, eternity is leaning close to your soul. What you are reading is not ordinary. It is not simply a message. It is a divine decree. It carries the breath of God, and it has been released into the atmosphere to stir what has long been silent within you. This message is alive. It moves with purpose. It has been prepared for you, chosen one. You have heard many voices in your life, but this one is different. This one knows your secret places. This one carries a frequency that resonates not with your mind, but with your spirit. For too long you have walked with questions, with weariness, with waiting. You have felt the ache of being hidden, the sting of delay, the silence that seemed endless. But heaven was never absent. God was never far. He was watching, preserving, waiting for this precise hour. Chosen one, you were not forgotten. You were being protected. You were not overlooked. You were being positioned. And now the time has come for the veil to lift. What has been dormant is now being stirred. What has been locked is beginning to open. The shift has already begun, and this message is the confirmation. There is something ancient and holy moving around you right now. You may not see it, but your spirit can feel the change in the atmosphere. It is subtle, but it is undeniable. If your heart is open, if your spirit is alert, you will sense the truth behind these words. This is not inspiration, it is instruction. It is the call to rise, the call to remember who you are. You are not on the edges of your destiny. You are being drawn into the center of it. Do not rush past this moment. Do not dismiss it as emotional noise. This is the voice that has followed you through storms, through silence, through shadow, and now it speaks clearly. You were chosen, you were called, and now you are being awakened. You may have felt invisible in this world, but heaven has seen everything. Every tear you wiped in secret. Every silent cry you thought no one heard. Every time you held your tongue when you could have defended yourself. Every moment you chose love over retaliation, peace over vengeance, perseverance over collapse. None of it was wasted. None of it was unseen. There is a record kept in eternity, and your name is written on every line. Chosen. One God saw the nights you didn't sleep. He watched as you carried the weight of others, while barely holding yourself together. He saw the betrayal that broke you, the loyalty you gave to those who didn't deserve it, the forgiveness you extended to those who never apologized. You kept walking when others would have collapsed. You kept believing when the silence grew deafening. And even when you questioned why nothing changed, you never fully let go. That was the test. And you passed it even though it almost destroyed you. As C.S. Lewis wrote in The Problem of Pain, "We are not merely imperfect creatures who must be improved. We are rebels who must lay down our arms." This insight reflects the divine endurance you've shown. Your persistence through betrayal and silence was a surrender to God's refining fire, proving your faith as a sacred rebellion against despair, preparing you for eternal glory. Heaven was never testing your strength. It was revealing your faith. It was proving your endurance. You were not being punished. You were being trusted. You were being prepared for something greater than your current surroundings could contain. You have been walking through fire, but not to be consumed. You were being refined. And now, the refining is nearly complete. Chosen one, this is your moment of release. The trial was not to break you, it was to reveal you. What you endured has authenticated the call upon your life. The crushing has made room for clarity. The silence has deepened your discernment. You are no longer who you were. You've changed, not just emotionally, but spiritually. And now heaven is bearing witness to your transformation. The delay is lifting. The reward is forming. The shift is here. The pain did not define you, it shaped you. The loneliness did not isolate you, it sanctified you. The rejection did not diminish you, it proved your worth. And now, the one who saw it all is preparing to elevate you in a way that no hand can stop, no voice can silence, no enemy can reverse. You did not survive just to survive. You were preserved to lead. You were refined to carry something holy. And now what was promised begins to move toward you. Now that the refining is complete, a new command is being issued, not as a suggestion, but as a divine decree. Do not quit. Do not lay down your sword. Do not turn back. You have come too far, endured too much, and been marked too deeply for this to be the end. This is not the collapse. It is the crossing. Not the conclusion, it is the beginning. If this word pierced your spirit, comment 77. I receive it. I am ready. I was chosen for this. Let your agreement be your activation. This is not the end. This is your release. What's coming is holy, and it's arriving now because you were chosen. Something unexpected is about to fall into your hands. It may not look like a blessing at first. It may arrive dressed in pressure, inconvenience, or discomfort, but do not reject it. That pressure is the packaging of your promise. That discomfort is the disguise of your destiny. You've been asking for a miracle, and now it is approaching, but it requires your participation. It requires your willingness to move, to receive, to believe even before you see. C.S. Lewis in Mere Christianity wrote, God is not hurried along in the time stream of this universe any more than an author is hurried along in the imaginary time of his own novel. This truth underscores the divine timing of your miracle. The unexpected pressure you face is God's sovereign orchestration arriving precisely to fulfill his promise, urging you to trust his eternal plan over temporal discomfort. You thought the answer would come through someone else. You thought perhaps a person would step in to lift the weight, open the door, speak the word, or provide the way. But now heaven reveals this truth to you. You are the answer. You are the one chosen to carry what others dropped. You are the one appointed to break what others accepted. The miracle is not just coming to you, it is coming through you. You are the key. You are the vessel. You are the one heaven has trusted. God is about to cause water to flow from the place in your life that felt most barren. He is about to reverse what felt final. What seemed impossible will now be completed suddenly. What others overlooked will now be elevated. The last will become first. The tail will become the head. This is not symbolic. It is real, and it is near. Chosen one, stand firm. Something is shifting beneath your feet. It may feel strange. It may look uncertain, but it is holy. Heaven is aligning people, places, and moments for your advancement. Do not abort the process now. Do not walk away when you are steps from fulfillment. You were chosen not just to carry this word, but to become the living evidence that God finishes what he starts. There has been a pattern, a quiet, invisible force that has kept your life cycling through delay, confusion, and limitation. You've sensed it. You've watched doors almost open, only to close again. You've felt progress stall without reason. You've experienced moments of clarity followed by clouds of resistance. This was not your imagination. It was spiritual. But today that pattern breaks. Even now, as you receive this word, a divine interruption is being released into the atmosphere surrounding you. A blockage is being removed. The weight that pressed against your advancement is being lifted. Something that was entangling your movement, something unseen, long tolerated, never questioned, is being severed. The cycles are ending. The confusion is lifting. The heaviness is breaking. There are people who plotted against you without your knowledge. Their words, their motives, their silence, they worked quietly, even intimately, to disrupt your becoming. But their time has expired. Their access has been revoked. There is one in particular, someone you tried to protect, someone you loved beyond reason, who is now being revealed for what they truly were. Not to shame them, but to free you. Not for vengeance, but for release. C.S. Lewis in the Screwtape Letters wrote, "There is no neutral ground in the universe. Every square inch, every split second is claimed by God and counterclaimed by Satan. This insight unveils the spiritual warfare behind their betrayal. Their silent plotting was a demonic counterclaim against your divine calling, but God's revelation claims your freedom, severing their influence to protect your sacred path. There is also a conversation, one that you are not part of, where your name is being mentioned. But this time it is not in mockery. This time it is for honor. A divine elevation is beginning in hidden places. Someone with influence is about to speak your name in a room your feet have never entered. And when they do, a door will swing open not by effort but by favor. It will feel sudden. It will look like coincidence. But in the spirit, it has been building for years. This is the harvest from seeds you forgot you planted. This is the reward for obedience you didn't think anyone noticed. This is the fulfillment of what God promised you in the dark. Do not dismiss what looks ordinary. Do not reject what arrives wrapped in pressure. This is the shift. This is the opening. This is the moment where cycles end and purpose begins. You are stepping out of survival and into dominion. You are not repeating anymore. You are rising. You once believed you were forgotten. You looked at the silence and assumed it was abandonment. You measured the time and concluded that heaven had passed you by. But the truth is deeper than your pain. Chosen one, you were not forsaken, you were hidden. You were not delayed, you were defended. What you interpreted as stillness was divine shielding. What felt like punishment was actually preservation. If God had allowed you to move forward, when you asked, you would have walked into ruin disguised as opportunity. If He had opened the door, you kept knocking on it, would have led you into the mouths of wolves. That relationship you prayed would last. That opportunity you begged to keep, that place you longed to stay, His no wasn't rejection, it was protection. You were never being held back. You were being held in the palm of His hand. And now the covering is lifting. What was once hidden will now be revealed. The person who mocked your stillness will witness your acceleration. The ones who laughed at your struggle will see your rising. Those who walked away thinking your story was over will hear your name whispered in places they cannot reach. The season of silence is ending, and your unveiling has begun. Chosen one, you were not born for obscurity. You were born for appointed visibility. But heaven reveals in stages what it has prepared in secret, and now the time of revealing is here. What has been growing in the soil of obscurity will now rise into full view. The delay was never a denial. It was a strategy. And that strategy is now complete. So stand in confidence. Stop apologizing for your becoming. Do not minimize your calling to fit the comfort of those who never carried your burden. Do not dim the light heaven has rekindled in you. The time in hiding is over. The time for rising has come. There is someone you cannot stop thinking about. Their name appears in your thoughts at the most unexpected times. Their memory stirs without invitation. You've questioned it. You've tried to dismiss it as coincidence, but it returns gently, persistently. That is not confusion. It is not your imagination. It is a prompting from the Spirit. This person is connected to a key that unlocks part of your next chapter. Chosen one, do not ignore it. Do not block what heaven is trying to bring back into alignment. This is not about returning to something broken. It is about restoring something sacred. There was once confusion between you, perhaps misunderstanding, perhaps silence, perhaps wounds that were never given voice. But now the season has shifted. This person is not returning with the same heart they left with. Something in them has changed, and heaven is orchestrating a moment of reconnection, not for your comfort, but for your calling. You do not need to chase, to strive, or to force the timing. You are simply being asked to be open, to listen, to discern, to respond with grace when the door knocks again, because this time, clarity is coming. This time, peace will replace the weight of unanswered questions. This is not merely about a relationship, it is about alignment. It is about unlocking the divine pattern that had once been paused by human pain. But this restoration can only take root in honesty. No more pretending you're fine when you're not. No more hiding behind strength that's grown brittle. You've carried the silence long enough. Now God is asking for your surrender. He is calling you to say, even in uncertainty, Lord, I trust you, though I do not yet understand. That confession is not weakness. It is access. It will open what no human hand could open. It will release what has been held back until now. What is returning is not the past. It is the healed future. And it carries a key you cannot afford to reject. There are words that were spoken over you, words you never asked for, words you never deserved. Some were whispered in envy, others hurled in anger. They tried to shape your future without God's permission. They declared limits over your life that heaven never authored. They called you names heaven never gave you. But now, chosen one, the one who holds all authority speaks. Those words are nullified. That power is broken. That curse is reversed. You are not the sum of someone else's bitterness. You are not bound to the labels others placed upon your soul. You are not tethered to the fear they tried to plant in you. What they said does not define you. What God says does. And today God says, you are free. Free to rise. Free to dream again. Free to walk in purpose without shame or fear. Free to become what I declared over you from the beginning. There have been doors that refused to open, not because you lacked faith, but because words were spoken against your movement. In secret, in darkness, in conversation you were never part of. There were sentences formed to sabotage your progress. But now heaven's courtroom has ruled in your favor. God himself has declared a reversal. Everything spoken against you that was not from him is being overturned. Every negative declaration, every silent curse, every subtle manipulation, it is broken. What was closed will begin to unlock. What was stolen is being commanded to return. What was held back is being released, not slowly but swiftly. You will no longer be held hostage by what others believed about you. From this moment on, your life will not be dictated by their disbelief. It will be propelled by what God planted inside of you. That inner fire, that unshakable purpose, that stubborn hope. It's not just resilience, it's evidence. Evidence that you were chosen, anointed, and preserved for such a time as this. Chosen one. This is not just vindication. It is restoration. The kind that only God can give. The kind that leaves no trace of shame, only glory. There is someone who plans to return, but not for your good. Their approach will seem soft, their words familiar, their timing eerily perfect. But their heart is not healed, and their motive is not pure. What they carry is not love. It is a snare. This is not a message of suspicion. It is a call to discernment. Chosen one, your spirit must rise above appearances now. There is jealousy hidden in a smile. There is resentment lurking behind a compliment. Not all who walk close to you are loyal. Not all who stay silent are safe. You have entered a new dimension of calling, and with it comes the necessity to see clearly beyond surface, beyond words, beyond charm. Your life is no longer in a season where emotional attachment can guide your choices. You must walk by light, not by sentiment. Be vigilant, not fearful, but awake. There is one you once trusted deeply, who has not let go of the need to control you. They are coming back, not to build with you, but to block you. They may claim remorse. They may wear humility like a mask. But listen to the unease in your spirit. Pay attention to the whisper that says, something isn't right. That whisper is not paranoia. It is protection. Chosen one, this is your warning. Do not mistake closeness for covenant. Do not confuse history with destiny. The person God has called you to become cannot be manipulated by the same voices that once wounded you. You are no longer that version of yourself. You no longer owe access to those who misuse their presence. This is your time of separation. And so heaven speaks, you must pray for eyes to see. Not just what people do, but what they mean. Not just what they say, but what they carry. Ask God for discernment sharper than instinct. Ask for vision stronger than memory. Because the next move of God in your life cannot be compromised by familiar spirits hiding in friendly faces. See, S. Lewis, in letters to Malcolm chiefly on prayer, wrote, "We may ignore, but we can nowhere evade the presence of God. The world is crowded with him. He walks everywhere incognito." This truth emphasizes the need for divine discernment. The subtle motives of this returning person may seem hidden, but God's inescapable presence reveals their snare, guiding you to guard your calling with holy clarity. You are not alone in this. Heaven is revealing. God is uncovering. What was hidden is being exposed. The masks are falling, and when the revelation comes, do not second-guess it. Protect your peace. Guard your light. The calling on your life is too weighty to be shared with those who never respected it. There is a shift occurring, even now, one that cannot be seen with natural eyes but can be felt deep in the spirit. Within the next 72 hours, something is going to happen. A conversation, a message, an encounter, a moment so precise, it will leave no room for doubt. This is not coincidence. It is divine scheduling. A portal has been opened, and heaven has placed your name upon this window of time. Chosen one, you have prayed for confirmation. You have asked God to speak clearly, to show you without confusion, and now your request has been answered. This is the sign. This is the guidance. This is the movement you have been sensing but could not yet name. Be alert. Be still. Be obedient. C. S. Lewis, in the Screwtape Letters, wrote, "The safest road to hell is the gradual one, the gentle slope, soft underfoot, without sudden turnings, without milestones, without signposts." This caution underscores the urgency of your obedience. Ignoring this divine moment risks a gradual drift from God's plan. But your alertness to the 72-hour shift marks a milestone of alignment, securing your path to divine fulfillment. The moment may not announce itself with fanfare. It may come through a person you weren't expecting, a phrase that arrests your attention, a number that keeps appearing, or an opportunity that feels just slightly bigger than what you're comfortable with. But make no mistake, this is your moment of activation. The breakthrough will not be loud, but it will be undeniable. You must not ignore it. You must not dismiss it. What is about to reach you is connected to the very thing you've been praying for in secret, and your response will determine its unfolding. Do not return to what once broke you. Do not reattach to the place of your trauma. God is not calling you backward. He is calling you into your future. When the moment arrives, choose courage, choose clarity, choose alignment. Do not ask the past for permission to embrace what heaven is now releasing. This window will not stay open forever. Obedience in this hour is not optional, it is essential. Your steps, your words, your posture will unlock the flow of what comes next. And when it happens, when the message arrives, when the door opens, when the call comes, your spirit will know. It will be more than timing. It will be testimony. You will say, "God heard me, God saw me, and God moved." And heaven will say, "Well done." Now the next begins. There is a number you keep seeing, a time that repeats, a sequence that appears when no one is watching. It flickers on clocks, receipts, signs, and screens, over and over, as if it's trying to say something. You've noticed it. You've questioned it. At times you brushed it off. But deep inside you've wondered if it meant more. It does. That number is not an accident. It is not random. It is not coincidence. It is a code, a signal from heaven designed to catch your attention, to mark your path, to remind you that even in silence, God is still working. These are not just signs. They are spiritual timestamps. Every time you saw them, it was God whispering, "I am here. I am still writing your story." Chosen one, you have felt forgotten, but you were not. You have assumed that silence meant inactivity, but it did not. God has been moving in secret. Heaven has been building what your eyes could not yet see. The groundwork of your future has been laid beneath the surface of your waiting. And now, with each repeated sign, the Spirit is telling you the unveiling is near. Stay alert. Stay aligned. This is how heaven speaks to those who carry great assignments, not always through thunder and fire, but through subtle codes, repeated patterns, quiet confirmations. What others miss you are being trained to recognize. The signs are not just messages, they are instructions. They are heaven's way of drawing your heart into awareness, of anchoring your focus to what truly matters. Pay attention. Write them down. Pray when you see them. Respond when they appear. They are heaven's breadcrumb trail leading you forward. One small reminder at a time that you are never walking alone. You are not guessing your way through this. You are being guided. God has hidden you in plain sight for a reason. And now, as these codes continue to appear, it is a signal that your season of unveiling is accelerating. Your spirit is being trained to hear what others ignore. Your eyes are being sharpened to see what others overlook. You are not merely watching, you are being summoned. This is the language of destiny, and you, chosen one, are being called to understand it. There was a moment, perhaps long ago, perhaps recent, when someone spoke over your life in anger. It may have come as a whisper or a shout, in jest or in rage, but it carried weight. It wounded. It lingered. And though you tried to move past it, the residue followed. It was a word you didn't deserve, a sentence that sought to seal your future in darkness. But today, heaven declares with finality that word is broken. That curse is reversed. Chosen one. There have been judgments spoken over you that heaven never authored. There were predictions about your failure, opinions about your worth, declarations that you would not rise. Some were spoken behind your back. Others were spoken to your face. None of them came from the mouth of God, and because he did not speak them, they have no authority to remain. Right now, in this moment, every word that opposed your calling is being cast down. Every lie is being unseated. Every accusation is being silenced. What once attached itself to your identity is being stripped away, and what was stolen is being commanded to return, restored, and multiplied. God is not simply erasing the past. He is rewriting it in glory. You are not cursed. You are not bound. You are not doomed to repeat the patterns that others projected onto you. You are free. Free to rise into the fullness of who you were created to be. Free to believe again. Free to speak, to build, to dream, to heal. Free to walk into rooms that once rejected you. Free to open doors no man can shut. Heaven has ruled in your favor, and the sentence of blessing has already gone out. This freedom is not fragile. It is not shallow. It is spiritual and irreversible. You will not be haunted by old names. You will not be followed by the shadows of false prophecy. You are no longer under what was said. You are under what has been declared by God himself. You are mine. You are chosen. You are covered. You are called. This is not recovery. This is resurrection. Look around, not with your eyes, but with your spirit. Something is changing. The air feels different. People are responding to you differently. Places you once tolerated now feel unfamiliar. That is not discomfort. It is divine displacement. The old space no longer fits the version of you that heaven has been forming. A shift has already begun, and you, chosen one, are at the center of it. You may sense a tension, a restlessness, a holy agitation. It is not anxiety. It is alignment. The Spirit is preparing you to move emotionally, spiritually, sometimes even physically. What once felt like home now feels like history. What once gave you comfort now feels too small. That's because heaven is stretching the borders around your life to match the weight of what you now carry. You are not who you were last season. Your discernment is sharper. Your voice is stronger. Your silence is more powerful. And so is your presence. People may not understand what has changed, but they will feel it. Some will be drawn to it. Others will distance themselves from it. Do not grieve their exit. Do not chase those who recoil from your light. Their departure is a form of divine protection. Heaven is speaking in ways you once missed. What felt random now reveals patterns. What once confused you now confirms direction. The very atmosphere around you is responding to the word that has gone forth over your life. Doors are not just opening, they're being drawn to you. Opportunities are no longer scattered. They're converging. You are entering a season where what once took years will now take days. What once seemed unreachable will feel inevitable. Chosen one, the spiritual realm has already shifted, and now the physical must follow. You do not need to force it. You only need to stay aligned. You are not waiting on breakthrough. Breakthrough is waiting on your response. Heaven has sounded the trumpet. Earth is echoing its frequency, and your life is the bridge between the two. Walk with awareness. Speak with authority. Move with reverence. You are in the middle of a divine turning. The evidence is already unfolding. There is someone new on the horizon of your life, sent not stumbled upon. You will not recognize them by appearance, by history, or by charm. You will know them by peace. They will not come loudly. They will not arrive to impress. Their presence will feel like clarity. Their words will carry stillness. And when they speak, your spirit will say, "This is safe. This is right. This is from God." Chosen one, you have waited, not in idleness, but in endurance. You have matured in the silence, grown in the dark, wept in surrender, and chosen wholeness over distraction. Heaven has watched your becoming, and now, because you have proven faithful, trusted, and true, the time has come for divine connection. This person is not coming to complete you. They are being sent to walk with what has already been completed in you. You will not lean on them to heal what you never faced. Instead, you will stand beside them as one who has been healed by the hand of God. Their spirit will not drain yours. It will affirm it. Their presence will not confuse. It will confirm. This connection is not an emotional rescue. It is a spiritual partnership. Whether they come as a friend, a mentor, a covenant partner, or a guide, know this: they are coming with purpose. They are being assigned to a chapter you cannot write alone. Their timing will be perfect, because it will not be yours. It will be heaven's. But for this union to take root, you must let go of what no longer aligns. The one who drained your strength must no longer have access. The one who manipulated your kindness must no longer hold your attention. You are not being asked to fix them. You are being released from carrying what was never yours. Let God handle their healing. You must protect your anointing. The door to your heart must be open, but guarded. The gate of your trust must be wise, but not bitter. And when this person appears, do not expect a grand entrance. Expect presence. Expect purity. Expect peace. For that is how heaven introduces what is holy. You will not need to ask, "Is this it?" Your spirit will already know. You have carried burdens that did not begin with you. You have felt pressures you could not explain, fought battles without a name, and wept from wounds inherited long before you understood their source. That was not coincidence. It was generational weight. But chosen one, hear this now. What ran through your bloodline stops with you. What was broken behind you will not repeat ahead of you. You were chosen to interrupt the pattern. You were not just born, you were sent. Heaven placed you within your family, your lineage, your time in history with intentionality. Though it felt like survival, it was succession. Though it looked like struggle, it was shaping. You have been entrusted with the seeds of transformation, not just for your own life, but for the generations that will come from you. The battle you faced in silence was not just for your own healing, it was for your children's peace. The cycles you refused to repeat created roads where none existed before. Your decision to forgive broke unseen chains. Your willingness to heal changed the story of everyone connected to your name. And God saw it all. Chosen one, the blessing on your life is heavy because the assignment is holy. You carry more than your own dreams. You carry deliverance for a lineage. You are the one who will go where no one before you dared to go. You are the answer to the prayers of those who did not yet know how to pray. You are the evidence that God redeems time, restores bloodlines, and raises up vessels from ashes. That is why the warfare was so fierce. That is why the delay was so long. That is why the loneliness felt unbearable. Hell tried to stop what heaven had sealed, but you did not break. You bent, you wept, you wrestled, but you did not surrender your anointing. And now, because of your obedience, a legacy is being written, one that will not end with you. Your children will not carry what you carried. Your future will not repeat your past. And the story of your name will shift from survival to strength, from trauma to testimony, from pain to power. You are the break in the bloodline. You are the turning point. And heaven calls you blessed because of it. What once took years will now take weeks. What once felt like struggle will begin to flow. You are entering not just a season of favor, but a season of divine momentum. Chosen one. The weight of resistance is lifting, and the wind of God is now behind your every obedient step. This is not the result of effort. It is the result of alignment. You have labored in silence. You have obeyed when no one applauded. You have planted in fields that looked barren. But now the harvest is being summoned, not slowly, but suddenly. Doors will begin to open without explanation. People will be drawn to your voice without marketing. Resources will come without striving. It will seem unfair, but it is not. It is the justice of heaven catching up to your obedience. This is acceleration born of process. It is not rushed. It is refined. God is not skipping steps. He is redeeming time. Every delay you endured, every closed door you wept before, every missed opportunity that haunted you, all of it is now being recalibrated. What was withheld is now being released. What was out of reach is now within your grasp. What once moved at a crawl will now rush to meet you like a tide finally released. Do not be surprised when things begin to unfold quickly. Do not be afraid when the pace changes. You are not being overwhelmed. You are being carried. You are not being pushed. You are being escorted by the very hand of God. This is the reward for your yes. Not just one yes, but the daily, quiet, painful yeses that no one saw but heaven counted. Chosen one, the ground beneath you is responding. The air around you is shifting. The unseen realms have already turned in your favor. You are stepping into acceleration, not by human force, but by spiritual decree. And as you move forward, the things that once resisted you will now make room for you. This is not coincidence. This is covenant. This is not just another moment in time. This is the moment, the hour that heaven has appointed, the threshold that eternity has prepared for you to cross. What you are feeling in your spirit is not emotion, it is movement. What you sense pressing on your heart is not a passing thought, it is the voice of God drawing you into fulfillment. This hour has been sealed in the spirit, long before your eyes ever saw this day. And now that your spirit has aligned with what heaven has declared, the release has already begun. Chosen one. Nothing about this is casual. Nothing about your arrival here is random. You have walked through fire, through confusion, through silence that threatened to break your mind. And yet here you are, not because you forced your way forward, but because you were carried by a hand greater than your own. What you thought was survival was preservation. What you assumed was delay was divine orchestration. Every day that felt wasted was quietly building the foundation for this very unveiling. And now the veil is lifting. This message was not sent to inspire, it was sent to activate. Heaven has moved. The decree has gone out. Your name has passed through the courts of glory and emerged vindicated. You are not waiting on approval. It has already been granted. You are not striving for favor. You have been marked by it. June 8 has now been written in eternity as the day of divine reversal. The moment when what was bound was loosed, what was stolen was commanded to return, and what was impossible was suddenly made real. You will no longer need to explain your process to those who never saw your pain. You will not need to convince anyone of your value. The evidence will speak. The favor will reveal it. The blessing will confirm it. The doors that now open will not be random, they will be righteous. You will find yourself in rooms you didn't ask to enter carrying influence. You never begged for receiving provision. You never had to manipulate, because this is what happens when heaven moves. It is not earned by striving, it is released through surrender. So do not shrink back. Do not second guess what your spirit already knows. This trembling you feel is not fear, it is the vibration of heaven touching earth through your life. The shift is not coming. The shift has already begun. And as you step forward in obedience, all of creation will respond to the sound of your emergence. This is not a season you are entering. It is a mantle you are wearing, and it has been crafted in secret for such a time as this. Chosen one, you are not hoping for a miracle. You are walking in it. What was delayed is now in motion. What was lost is being returned. What was spoken in eternity is now being fulfilled in time. You will look back on this day and say, that was when everything turned. That was when heaven moved. And heaven will echo the words, it is finished. It is fulfilled. It is done. Amen.